Chelsea manager Antonio Conte said his side showed they have the attitude to fight as they scored 2 late goals to come from behind and claim a dramatic victory against Watford at Stamford Bridge. Cesar Azpilicueta headed the Blues 3-2 in front in the 87th minute before Missy Batshuayi sealed the victory in stoppage time, ending a 3-game winless run despite an unconvincing performance from the champions. It was Batshuayi's second of the game after he had headed an equaliser midway through the second half, his side having fallen behind to Watford goals either side of half-time to hint at a third consecutive Premier League defeat for the Blues. Pedro put the home side ahead in the 12th minute with a sensational 25-yard strike that curled away from Watford goalkeeper Hugo Hogams and in off the right-hand post. But the Blues were shaky defensively throughout and Marco Silva's Hornets scored twice through Abdoulaye Doucouré and Roberto Pereira to put them on course for a famous victory. It could have been even worse for Antonio Conte's side as Brazilian Richarlison missed 2 glorious chances for Watford, one from 6 yards out, the other a close-range header, either side of Pereira's goal. But Batshuayi's equaliser and the third for Azpilicueta saw Conte throw himself into the home crowd as his side completed a turnaround that the Belgium striker then capped deep into injury time. Chelsea have not lost 3 consecutive games since 2015 under Jose Mourinho, a month before he was sacked. Asked how he felt when his side were 2-1 behind, Conte said, "I feel a lot of pressure but not this pressure if the club decide to sack me. I will never be worried about getting the sack, never. I don't worry about this pressure because this is the job." Victory takes Chelsea above Watford into 4th in the table. Pressure relieved on Conte and Thriller. After a relentless run to Premier League glory last season, Chelsea's early defence of the title has been anything but smooth, with defeats to Manchester City and Crystal Palace in their last 2 games. Reports this week suggested Chelsea's players were unhappy with Conte's punishing training regime following their Champions League draw with Roma and modest league form. The Blues looked to be settled by Pedro's spectacular opener, but as Watford grew into the game the Chelsea defence, so impressive last season, began to look porous. They failed to deal with a long throw for Doucouré's equaliser and Pereira was then left unmarked for Watford's second as the Hornets cut them open with worrying ease. Yet credit must go to Chelsea for the way they responded to going behind. Batshuayi scored his first 10 minutes after coming on as a substitute to make it 2-2 and the mood at Stamford Bridge changed markedly when Azpilicueta completed the turnaround. On the back of their 2 league defeats and Champions League draw with Roma, it was a win that felt extremely significant for Conte and his side in terms of the whole season. It is not simple because we are facing difficult situations, but the spirit and commitment is right. I'm satisfied for the performance, Conte said. Certainly their spirit and drive was in marked contrast to the sort of surrender witnessed in the season that saw Mourinho sacked, that followed their last title triumph. Watford started the game unbeaten away from home in the Premier League this season and 4th in the table, 1 place above Chelsea. Their performance was deeply impressive for the most part, combining athleticism and energy with plenty of technical ability. The marking for Batshuayi and Azpilicueta's headers for Chelsea's second and third goals was poor, but what cost them equally as dearly was the finishing of Richarlison. First, the Brazilian missed an open goal from 6 yards after Kiko Firmino's superb cross, and then he headed horribly wide from a similar distance when unmarked. Manager Silva labelled the result unfair and complimented Richarlison despite his profligacy, but the Portuguese will know that had the forward been less wasteful in front of goal, his side would have given Chelsea an even bigger hill to climb. The result, didn't reflect the match and what we saw on the pitch, Silva said. Our team came here and controlled most of the match. I'm proud of how we played, but of course I'm really frustrated. It showed our way and we need to continue in this way. Chelsea manager Antonio Conte, speaking to Sky Sports, the performance was good because to concede the equaliser at the end of the first and then go down in first part of the second half, our confidence in that moment was low. But my players showed me we have the attitude to fight and change the situation and get a different result. It was very important. Watford manager Marco Silva, speaking to Sky Sports, it is a really unfair result. We didn't create many chances in the first half, it is true, but we controlled the game and Chelsea started to play on the counter-attack. We played our game and in the second half for 40 minutes there was only one team playing on the pitch. After 2-1 we had clear chances to finish the match.